The fader control strip is the primary user interface for mixing with iLive. It provides a familiar analog console layout and is arranged in banks across the surface. The smallest iLive surfaces have 2 banks of faders. The larger models have 3. Each fader bank has 4 layers, A, B, C and D, 6 on iLive R72, providing the largest surface with 176 strips, and even the smallest surface with as many as 72. With thoughtful choice of colour and strip assignment, you can create an intuitive console layout that suits the way you want to work. Press the keys to select the layer you want to work with. The faders move. Encoders, LCDs and meters change to show the current settings of the assigned channels and masters. The layer keys affect each bank independently by default, but can be linked so that all are affected if preferred. It's possible to freeze a selected strip across all layers, so the channel, master or DCA remains in view when you change between layers. To freeze or unfreeze strips, hold down the Freeze in Layers key and press the Strip Mix keys. While the key is held down, the blue indicator displays which strips are frozen. The meter displays audio signal activity for the channel or mix master. Input channel metering is post-processing, pre-fader, while mix master metering is post-fader, post-mute, so you can check the signal present at the output. The red peak indicator lights to warn that the signal is within 5 dB of clipping. It is multi-point sensing, which means it keeps a check of the signal activity throughout the channel path. If it lights before the rest of the meter, or while the channel fader is down, this means that the signal is peaking earlier in the channel path. iLive meters are fast response digital absolute peak meters. This ensures you keep control and avoid digital clipping of signals, including those with very fast dynamics. It does mean that iLive meters may read hotter than those on other consoles you are used to working with. It is perfectly okay to work with these meters reading well into the yellow. The red peak indicator next to each layer key lights when a signal associated with that layer is approaching its peak level. This helps you keep a check on all system signal peak activity even when you do not have those channels in view. The LCD strip is the digital equivalent of the traditional console write-on strip. It displays information about the channel assigned to the control strip. Channel type, name or number, DCA status, safe indicator, rotary encoder function and setting, channel status and assignment to the current mix with pre-post indicator. A 6-colour backlight displays the user assigned channel colour. The rotary encoder lights up when it has a function assigned. It is used as a send level, pan or preamp gain depending on the type of mix currently selected and the current preferences. If the mix has 2 image functions, for example pan and sub level, when configured as an LR sub main mix or as an aux send and pan for stereo aux mix on rotaries, then the LCD displays 2 dials, one for each function. To access the upper dial function, hold down the rotary shift key while turning the encoder. Holding down the Alt View key temporarily accesses a third, customizable rotary function and overwrites the usual assigned names displayed on the strip LCDs with alternative information. This is useful when you want to check channel numbers, for example when checking the patching or assigning strips and sockets. The select and mix keys make mixing with iLive very quick and intuitive once learned. The select green key provides access to the channel processing and is also used for certain setup functions. The current setting for the selected channel are displayed in the channel strip control section above the strips and or in the touchscreen. The select key is also used in conjunction with the copy, paste, reset keys to select data. The PAFL key selects either pre-fade listen or after-fade listen signal to the engineer's headphones or local monitor, depending on the setting of the AFL keys below the PAFL meters. A clear all key in the master section is provided to turn off the current selection. The associated yellow CHK indicators light on the modular IDR10 mix rack and iLive Surface audio modules while PAFL is active. The mute key turns off the channel, mix or DCA as it would on a traditional analog console. It mutes the pre- and post-fade signals. The associated red mute indicators light on the audio output modules in the mix rack or surface while the mute is active. The fader is motorized and automatically changes position to reflect the current mix settings when you select different fader layers or change the mix using mix keys. The mix key accesses the routing and levels for different mixes. This is fundamental to mixing with iLive, giving you quick access to full fader or rotary encoder control of every mix. The active mix is displayed by a blue LED indicator and determines the function of the fader or encoder area of the surface. When a mix is accessed and the sends on faders mode is set, the motorised channel faders move to show the send level and can be adjusted. The faders are no longer channel faders, and the CH fader icon in the LCD display will turn off. To avoid mistakes while mixing, turn off the mix key to return automatically to your main mix. There are two ways to work with mix keys: viewing and editing the sources to one master mix, and viewing and editing the mixes straight to an input channel. If you press a master mix key, you can view all the sends feeding the mix and assign individual channels to it. For aux, FX and matrix mixes, the fader or rotaries become the sends depending on the settings of the Send on Rotaries button in the routing screen with Master Strip Select active. If set to Send on Rotaries, then the faders remain as channel faders. For groups and DCAs, the faders and encoders remain unaffected. For stereo aux and matrix sends, the rotaries become the pan controls. If a stereo send is configured for rotary level, then the pan function is accessed by holding down the rotary shift key while turning the encoder. To set individual sends pre or post fade, hold down the pre-post key and then press channel select keys to toggle them. The strip LCDs display a pre icon when set to pre-fade. To set all sends pre or post, hold down pre-post and then press the master select key to toggle all. If you press a channel mix key instead, you can view all of the sends from the channel and current assignments on the master strip LCDs and faders or rotaries. Again, you can assign to individual groups or sends, and set individual sends pre or post fade. For aux, FX and matrix mixes, the faders or rotaries become the sends depending on the settings. If set to sends on rotaries, then they remain as master faders. For groups and DCAs, the faders and encoders remain unaffected. For stereo aux and matrix sends, the rotaries become the pan controls. The mix keys are also used to copy and reset mix levels and assignments, and for other functions including the assignment of channel safes, DCAs and talkback destinations. Assignment functions require a press and hold operation with the assign key. The strip LCDs display an on icon when assigned. To assign all channels on or off, hold down assign and then press the master mix key to toggle all on or all off.